got a lot of that go to the internet and think that everything they see on that is facts.
And I was telling her, like, come in the house. And she like, no, I don't want to go in. I'm begging her to come in the house.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all know my slogan. I don't know it all, but I know what I've been through. Now, before we get into this video, make sure you check us out on Patreon at www.patreon.com/Hookah Anonymous _. You guys been telling us to create one for the longest, so we recently created a community where we will upload videos that we can't share on YouTube due to their guidelines. We'll also be dropping the latest T there first, behind the scenes information that you wouldn't find anywhere else on our socials. So make sure you become a member, and after you do that, head over to our official Instagram page at Hookah Anonymous _ and follow us there. Now without further ado, let's get into what you guys came here to see. Now, things done got 10 times worse for T Grizzley, and it's looking like he better consider pulling a little Dirk move and see if he can get into Dubai before it's too late. Now, T Grizzley may have dug a hole for himself now that 600 Thang trial is underway and evidence in regards to what the police are saying happened are being revealed. And y'all, this is why I'm gonna continue to say this: keep street business off the internet, because now T Grizzley's own words are coming back to bite him, and it isn't anybody's fault except for his own. And once again, this isn't what bloggers are alleging, it's not what we heard from the streets, and it's not no conspiracy. This right here is coming from police reports, court documents, and the word of the law in regards to 600 Thang being accused for the unaliving of T Grizzley's manager / aunt, according to him. Now, it's already bad enough that someone he knows, called a friend, was even at his wedding, is being accused of taking his aunt's life. But now, the story that he gave concerning what happened back when it first happened during the interview has come back to haunt him. And once again, this is why you keep street business off the internet. And y'all, this time he can't say, don't believe what you see on the internet, don't believe what you hear, they're making things up, none of that. Because this has come from his own mouth, and judging from what we now know, he have contradicted himself. So it's one of two things. T allegedly really had something to do with his aunt getting unalive for whatever reason, or somebody's lying and his boy tried to target him but ended up hitting his aunt. Now let me make it very clear, y'all. We weren't saying he did anything for a fact. We're just going based off what we were told and what's being released as evidence. And the crazy part about this all is that it's not even the world that's coming up with these allegations. The world hasn't even been thinking about it. However, it's people in Detroit themselves who have made them claims and even stated that this right here is old news to them. Basically indicating that everyone in Detroit already knows this and it's old news. So once again, this isn't anybody else except for allegations coming out of T's own backyard. Now here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get into the story he told us on what happened the night his aunt / manager was unalive, then fast forward to now and get into court documents about what recently came out on top of new evidence that we now know and compare them. Then y'all let me know what y'all think about this at the end, because it's not looking too good for T Grizzley. Now before we get into it, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button so we can get this video into the algorithm, and if you not subscribed to the platform already, make sure you do so now. Let's get into it.
The night everything happened, man, can you kind of go over that night with us? I know y'all was at the studio. I seen you on your Instagram.
Yeah, so we was at the studio with Guapo and Jay Swan or whatever, and I'm going over my cousin's house, my older cousin. He was real close with my pops, just like my pops' brother. And I always try to, you know what I'm saying, show him some love, because that's another wound we really ain't healed from.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I went over there, and I was telling her, like, come in the house. And she like, no, I don't want to go in. I'm begging her to come in the house. You know what I'm saying? Like, certain areas, you just gotta move right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't about where you at. I could go anywhere I want to.
Right.
But I gotta move right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if I'm moving right, can't nothing happen to me. So I'm telling her to come in the house. She like, no, Cause JB was kind of like funny acting about dirty houses, and stuff like that. The house wasn't even dirty, but to her, she just a clean, real clean person. It's like, no, I don't want to go in them people's house. I don't want to sit on their furniture and all that stuff. I'm like, all right, I'll be right back. So I'm knocking on the door. My people's taking so long to come to the door. You know what I'm saying? And they finally come to the door. As soon as I see her, as soon as I see my auntie, she about to open the door. I just hear a whole bunch of shots going off. You know what I'm saying? Behind me, I hear a whole bunch of shots going off. So I get down because I'm thinking they about to come to the side and start, you know what I'm saying, shooting at me, and I ain't got nothing on me at the time. My cousin ran out with a gun. I'm like, perfect. So we ran out on the street. When we ran out, my driver was gone with no cars out there. I'm like,
She was in the. So what was the vehicle? She was in the car. Like
she was in the car. She was in the car.
Okay.
She was in the car on the street. So my cousin ran out with the gun or whatever, and we ran out in the front to see what's going on and to. If somebody up on us, we gonna get them off us. So once we got outside, once we got in the front where they was at, my driver gone. There's no cars out here.
Okay, wait. Let me ask you. So was you had to enter to the back door or something?
Yeah, I was.
Okay. Side door. Okay. I get you. Okay.
But basically, I don't even know what's going on at this point.
Okay.
So we in the front. I look in the street. I don't see no glass in the street. So I'm like, oh, they straight. You know what I'm saying? That's probably some. I didn't even think this had nothing to do with us.
Okay.
You feel me?
Right.
But my cousin still came out there with the gun though. So I was cool with going out there. I'm like, I ain't see no glass in the street. I'm thinking they heard some shots and pulled off. Okay. So now I'm mad now. Like, y'all heard them shots, why would y'all leave me over here?
Right.
You feel me? You could at least call me and told me, like, it's too much going on over here. Come on, we gone. You know what I'm saying? That my driver ended up calling me, like, and told me what happened. So basically what happened, they walked up to my door and opened my door. You know what I'm saying? Some niggas opened my door trying to get at me. Ended up hitting her up.
Would they hit her on the body?
They hit her on her side and in her arm. She didn't get hit in her head or her face and nothing, just all on her side. You feel me?
How many times?
On the side where her heart at.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, on the side like where her heart at too, so that's. She got shot like that before a long time ago with my uncle.
Okay.
His car got shot up and she got hit in the exact same place, but she lived. You know what I'm saying? Because she went straight to the hospital.
Okay.
My uncle drove straight to the hospital as soon as it happened. But
was she alive when did she die on the scene or the hospital?
I don't even. I think that no. She died at the hospital. She was still alive. She was still breathing and everything. She called me.
She called you?
While she was shot, she called me.
What'd she say?
I was trying to talk to her. I didn't hear what she was saying.
Oh.
She couldn't really form no words.
So now that you heard his side of the story and what happened, let's go over a few things that don't really make sense according to what we know now. 1, he said it was a crazy neighborhood and basically she knows that because she's from Detroit too. And it was approximately 9 p.m. when everything happened, which means it was dark outside. Ain't mean to tell me a female who knows she's in a crazy neighborhood with a celebrity from Detroit rather sit in a car like a sitting duck in a nice vehicle outside while it's dark and wait for you? But then he said she didn't want to go inside. And if she didn't want to go inside, what was the sense in her coming with you in the first place, knowing where y'all was going? Or as a man, you wasn't supposed to let her sit out there by herself with whoever it was, knowing the possibility that anything could have happened in that crazy neighborhood while it was dark. Now 2, the part that I don't get is, he says they opened his door thinking it was him and just started shooting, which means they knew where he was located in the car because they watched him get into the car, right? So you mean to tell me they watched you get into the car but didn't see when you got out? And they said she was shot about 6, 7, or 8 times, I believe. You mean to tell me they shot that many times into her and didn't realize she wasn't T Grizzley? But then 3, he said she called him from the hospital. When the interviewer asked what did she say, he says that she didn't say anything because she could barely talk. Well then why would she call you if she could barely talk? And someone shot that many times, I can't see them being able to operate or function in a way to where she can call you from the hospital bed, but I could be wrong. But I'm thinking in my head, why out of all people, instead of calling her mother, I'm not sure if she have kids, but her mother, kids, or anybody else next to kin, Why would she call T Grizzley out of all people? But next, right? Let's get into what court documents are stating based on their investigation when it comes to Jermaine Whedon, aka 600 Wu-Thang. Now keep in mind, he's on trial right now as we speak, which means that Grizzley and them been had prior knowledge to him being accused of being behind her passing before it was exposed to the world. Also, that means they already presented Wu-Thang with an offer because they feel strongly that he was the suspect based on the evidence and investigation that they did. Now he decided to take it to trial, and one thing about trial, them people will always come with new evidence that you didn't even know they had against you. So why you thinking you got them beat? They just waiting for you to challenge them so they can uncover everything they have and give you more time. But at that point, it's too late for you to back out. Now, according to the evidence against 600 Wu and what they are alleging, the court documents will say, quote, a review of the CSLI revealed that Whedon's cell phone 773-710-7274 traveled into Michigan from area of Chicago on August 19th, 2019, the day before the homicide. Connected to cell towers around the geographic area of the crime scene around the reported time of the homicide on August 20th, 2019. On August 20th, 2019, the night of the M, the phone connected to a cell tower located less than 0.5 miles from the shooting scene in Detroit, multiple times over an approximate 2-hour period starting around 7 p.m. and continuing until 8:56 p.m., which is minutes before the shooting occurred. In February 2020, DPD received notification from the MSP lab of an NIBIN lead potential association between a casing recovered from the scene of the August 20th, 2019 homicide in Detroit and a test-fired casing from a handgun that was recovered 2 months later in Chicago, Illinois, specifically a Glock 23 40 caliber semi-automatic handgun bearing serial number PAZ363 that was seized from Jermaine Whedon by Chicago police on October 19th, 2019. So basically, that was just them letting you know that they knew that he was in Michigan a day before the shooting and everything transpired, and he came from Chicago. They noticed based on the license plate readers and also the rental car agreement that he had with Hertz. Not to mention, they also described that the weapon that he had when he was caught was the same weapon that was used in the shooting, right? Now let's get to the other documents. It'll say, quote, DPD conducted a query of Michigan license plate reader cameras around the date of the August 20th, 2019 homicide for the stolen blue Nissan versus New York license plate number HRK 4937. The query revealed that an LPR in New Buffalo, Michigan captured the car traveling eastbound on I-94 on August 19, 2019 at 6:35 p.m., a day prior to the Detroit homicide. New Buffalo is just across the Michigan border from Indiana in the southwestern part of Michigan. Now this comes because they're saying that he was supposed to return the car, in which he never did. And he took it back to Chicago and was joyriding like everything was fine. Now another piece of evidence will say, quote, when Whedon was arrested by Chicago police on October 19, 2019, described in further detail below, he was in possession of a stolen rental car, a blue Nissan Versa, bearing New York license plate number HRK 4937. The car was a Hertz rental car that had been due to be returned to Hertz on August 24, 2019, and Hertz filed a stolen vehicle report with the Lombard, Illinois Police Department in September 2019. The appearance of this blue Nissan Versa is consistent with the appearance of the dark color sedan captured on surveillance video near the August 20th, 2019 homicide scene around the time of the shooting, referenced in paragraph 6 above. So let's go over what they had and try to make sense of this. And remember, this isn't coming from a regular individual, a blogger, or anybody aside from the police. Because T Grizzly's response was, don't believe what you see on social media. The truth could be in your face and y'all wouldn't know. All that, the whole nine, right? But this isn't coming from just a blogger or anybody on social media. This is coming from the law themselves. In New York, Chicago, Michigan, that's it. Now, 600 Wu was not only caught with the weapon used in the shooting, but he was also caught in a rental car used in the shooting as well. And I told y'all before, possession is 9/10 of the law. So I see a bunch of people on social media saying things like, well, maybe he got the firearm from someone. It don't mean he's the one that did it, which is still crazy to me because let's be real. How coincidental it would have to be for him to have the same exact firearm, right? But now how do you try and defend someone who not only had the same firearm, but the same rental car too? Right? What's the odds? Let me see how y'all try to defend that one. Once again, I'm not saying T Grizzley had anything to do with it or 600 Woo. What I am saying though is based on the evidence that we know given to us from the law. If it quacks like a duck, it's a duck. If it barks like a dog, it's a dog. Simple as that. Not to mention, he made one of the most rookie mistakes that any criminal can make. They said he brought his phone with him that they were pinging from nearby towers the whole time. It's to the point where they said he was at the location approximately 2 hours leading up to the shooting. Sounds pretty premeditated to me, right? Then they also pinged it from the time he was in Michigan to the time he left and returned back to Chicago, and he was caught by license plate readers. So he not only had the phone with him, but he got caught because he was also joyriding in the same car that was involved in the shooting. Come on now. Listen, I don't know about y'all, but he's going to have to do some real explaining, either that or he might just tell. Imagine trying to convince a jury that you had the same weapon used in the unaliving of a person and the vehicle, but it just must be some coincidence because you didn't do it. Come on, man. And then the fact that he was there for 2 hours, they said he was there 2 hours before the shooting even happened, which means he was there before the car even pulled up. So T Grizzly's story was they was going to check somebody who was close to his father. He wanted to check on him and make sure he was good, blase blah. What was this car doing there 2 hours prior? He had to have some type of information that they was going to be there to do what he did, allegedly, or just that. It ain't no or. It's either just that. There's no coincidence that the shooter was there 2 hours before everything happened. Why was he there? Right? So let's say even if he didn't do it, clearly you know whoever did or is affiliated with it somehow, some way, because you're in the rental car and got the weapon. Now, when I stated that T Grizzley responded to the situation but didn't really say much, this is what I meant. Because the evidence is crazy. His response don't add up to the evidence that they have because it's two things, right? One of two things. His boy either was trying to unalive his aunt or his boy was trying to unalive him. Or his boy was put up to do this by him. One of three things. So this ain't something you could just blow over like it's nothing and say, oh, don't believe what you see on social media. No, because the law is saying this. So his response was better left unsaid because at this point, it's nothing he could really say due to the evidence and everything that was provided. Either he allegedly set her up or his friend tried to set him up. One of the two. Simple. Y'all jump in the comments. Let me know what y'all think about this. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'm going to keep on dropping. And I'm out.